The creature's face appears in the flashlight beam. Human features. But the eyes are wrong. Too wide. Too reflective. And when it moves, the tail cuts through the water with a power no human diver could replicate. The footage freezes marine biologists in their tracks because what they're seeing shouldn't exist. Yet here it is, captured on camera, analyzed frame by frame. And the more experts study these encounters, the more they realize we might be sharing the ocean with something science has refused to acknowledge. This isn't folklore anymore. The evidence is stacking up in ways that demand answers. A fishing crew records glowing figures circling their boat in the middle of the night. The beings move with intelligence, coordination. They don't scatter when the lights hit them. Instead, one charges directly at the camera, mouth open, revealing rows of sharp teeth before the footage cuts to black. The crew's panicked voices echo in the background. Raw. Unscripted. The kind of fear you can't fake. Marine biologists who've reviewed this specific footage point to details that shouldn't be there if this were simple CGI or costume work. The way light refracts off the skin, the subtle muscle movements beneath the surface, the synchronized swimming patterns that mirror how dolphins hunt in pods. The upper torso structure is unmistakably humanoid. Shoulders, arms, a defined ribcage visible through translucent skin. The lower half transitions into what appears to be a powerful tail, propelling the creatures through water with explosive speed. Dr. Sarah Chen, a marine mammal specialist, spent 3 weeks analyzing this particular clip. Her findings were unsettling. The biomechanics of movement, she noted, don't match any known aquatic species. Dolphins and whales undulate vertically. Fish move laterally. But these beings demonstrate a hybrid motion pattern. The tail moves with the lateral efficiency of a fish, while the upper body maintains the stability of a marine mammal. It's a combination that, according to current evolutionary biology, shouldn't be possible. The color of their skin adds another layer to the mystery. That violet-blue bioluminescent quality isn't random. Several deep-sea species produce light through chemical reactions in specialized cells called photophores. But bioluminescence in organisms with humanoid features? There's no precedent in marine science. The glow serves a purpose in the deep ocean. Attracting prey. Communication, even camouflage against the faint light filtering from above. If these creatures possess this trait naturally, it suggests they've evolved in deep water environments where light is scarce. Another video surfaces from a completely different location. A diver exploring underwater caves. The water is murky, visibility limited to whatever the flashlight can penetrate. Then, in the darkness of a crevice, a face. The diver's camera shakes. His breathing accelerates through the regulator. The face is pale, almost luminescent in the beam. Hair floating in the current. Eyes that catch and reflect light like a cat's tapetum lucidum. That reflective layer behind the retina that helps nocturnal and deep-sea creatures see in low light. The being doesn't attack. It observes. For several seconds, there's a standoff. Predator and prey, trying to determine which is which. Then, the creature moves. And the power is obvious. One thrust of the tail, and it's gone, leaving only disturbed sediment and bubbles. The diver's scream is visceral. The kind of sound that comes from confronting something your brain can't categorize. What makes this encounter particularly significant is the depth. Based on the ambient pressure readings visible on the diver's equipment and the type of coral formations in the background, marine experts estimate this was filmed at least 60 to 80 feet down. At that depth, light from the surface is minimal. Pressure is substantial. Any creature living at this level would need specialized adaptations, enhanced low-light vision, pressure-resistant bone structure, efficient oxygen utilization. The being in the footage appears to have all of this. Its skin has that same translucent quality seen in deep-sea fish, a trait that provides camouflage in environments where even slight visibility could mean the difference between predator and prey. The muscle structure visible through the skin suggests a body built for sustained swimming in high-resistance environments. Not the sprint and rest pattern of surface swimmers. but the endurance capabilities of creatures that patrol vast territories in the deep. Then there's the footage from shallow rivers. This changes everything. A man recording near a residential area catches something moving through murky water near the shore. The head breaks the surface, human-like features again, but the body beneath moves wrong. Too fluid, too serpentine. As it swims closer to the bank, the tail becomes visible, long, muscular, covered in scales that shimmer even in the dim light. This raises a critical question that marine biologists can't ignore. If these creatures exist in deep ocean environments, what are they doing in shallow rivers? Some species are euryhaline, meaning they can tolerate both saltwater and freshwater. Sharks have been found miles upriver. Stingrays adapt to freshwater systems, but a creature with this specific morphology navigating between oceanic depths and shallow rivers, that implies a level of physiological adaptability that's extraordinarily rare. Dr. Marcus Way, a specialist in marine cryptozoology, proposes a theory that's gaining traction in certain scientific circles. What if these beings aren't a single species, but rather multiple related species occupying different ecological niches? Just as whales diversified into dozens of species, each adapted to specific environments, perhaps these humanoid aquatic creatures have done the same. Deep water variants with bioluminescence and pressure adaptations, coastal variants that can tolerate warmer temperatures and variable salinity, river variants capable of navigating freshwater systems. The anatomical consistency across sightings supports this theory. Every video, regardless of location, shows the same basic body plan. Humanoid upper structure, powerful tail, enhanced sensory capabilities. But the variations are there too. The deep-sea footage shows creatures with larger eyes and more pronounced bioluminescence. The river encounter shows a being with smaller eyes and darker coloration. Environmental adaptation within a shared evolutionary framework. But here's where it gets truly strange: the behavioral patterns. In every piece of footage analyzed, these creatures demonstrate awareness, not animal instinct. Awareness. They react to cameras, they assess threats, they make decisions. When the fishing crew's lights illuminate them, they don't scatter in panic like fish. They regroup, coordinate. One even approaches the boat with what appears to be curiosity or aggression. That's primate-level cognitive behavior, possibly higher. Marine mammals like dolphins and orcas demonstrate sophisticated intelligence, problem-solving, social structures, communication through complex vocalizations. The creatures in these videos display similar traits, but with one critical difference. The anatomical structure suggests they might have the physical capability for more than vocalizations. The upper body structure, if similar to human anatomy, could potentially support a larynx capable of complex sound production, maybe even speech. That's a radical suggestion, one that pushes against every boundary of marine biology. But the evidence keeps accumulating in uncomfortable ways. A body washes ashore. The footage spreads across social media before authorities can secure the scene. The upper half is unmistakably humanoid, decomposed, but the bone structure is visible. Shoulders, ribcage, arms with what appear to be webbed hands. The lower half has deteriorated significantly, but the skeletal structure suggests a powerful tail with vertebrae that extend far beyond human proportions. Marine biologists who've seen the footage before it was removed note details that are hard to dismiss. The skull structure. It's not quite human, but it's closer to human than to any known aquatic species. The dental structure visible in some frames shows a combination of traits. Front teeth, somewhat similar to human incisors, but the canines are elongated, sharp, designed for gripping and tearing. The molars are different too, flatter, more suited for crushing shells or bones. It's an omnivorous dental pattern, suggesting a diet that includes fish, crustaceans, and possibly aquatic vegetation. A diet that would require intelligence to obtain. Tool use? Perhaps. Cooperative hunting strategies. The hands are particularly fascinating. The webbing between fingers is extensive, similar to what's seen in aquatic birds and some amphibians. But the finger length and the presence of what appear to be opposable thumbs suggest dexterity, the ability to manipulate objects, create tools. That level of anatomical sophistication doesn't evolve without purpose. These beings would need to use their hands for something beyond simple swimming. Some researchers suggest they might construct shelters in underwater caves, use rocks to crack open shells, even fashion primitive weapons for hunting or defense. It sounds like science fiction, but octopi use tools. Sea otters use rocks to break open clams. If a creature has the cognitive capacity and the anatomical capability, tool use becomes not just possible, but probable. The habitat requirements paint a picture that's both fascinating and unsettling. Based on the environments where sightings occur, these creatures need access to deep water for safety and hunting, but also venture into shallower areas, possibly for breeding, possibly for food sources that exist in coastal zones. This behavior mirrors what we see in certain seal species that hunt in deep water but return to shores for specific purposes. But seals are mammals, air breathers. These creatures show no evidence of surfacing for air in any of the footage. They remain submerged for extended periods without distress. That suggests either an incredibly efficient oxygen storage system, like what deep-diving whales possess, or possibly even the ability to extract oxygen from water through some form of gill system. The neck area in several videos shows unusual ridges or structures that could potentially be modified gill slits. It's speculative, but it fits the observed behavior. The depth analysis is where things become truly mysterious. Some footage clearly comes from shallow water, 10 to 20 feet. Other footage, based on lighting conditions and pressure indicators, originates from 60 feet or deeper. A few clips, particularly those with extreme bioluminescence, might come from depths exceeding 200 feet. That's a massive range. Most species specialize. Deep-sea creatures rarely venture to the surface, and surface dwellers can't handle the pressure of the deep. But these beings appear to move freely across depth zones. This ability would require remarkable physiological adaptations. Pressure equalization systems, variable buoyancy control, enhanced blood chemistry to prevent nitrogen narcosis and decompression sickness. Humans need complex equipment and careful depth management to dive deep and return safely. These creatures
That level
seem
of
to do it
adaptation
naturally. Takes millions of years of evolution. Which raises the question, how did science miss this? The ocean is vast. We've explored less than 5% of it. The deep sea remains largely unmapped. Entire ecosystems exist in regions humans have never visited. New species are discovered regularly. Giant squids, once thought to be myths, turned out to be real. Colossal squids, even larger, were found decades later. The ocean keeps its secrets well, but a creature with humanoid features should have left more evidence. Bones on beaches, interactions with fishing nets, historical accounts beyond folklore. Unless they've actively avoided human contact, many intelligent species do this. Great apes in remote forests, certain dolphin pods that steer clear of boats. If these beings possess intelligence comparable to marine mammals or higher, they could have learned to avoid humans. Until recently, when expanding human ocean activity made encounters inevitable. The increase in sightings correlates with increased ocean exploration. More divers, more underwater cameras, more fishing vessels equipped with night vision technology. We're not necessarily seeing more of these creatures. We're just seeing them for the first time because we finally have the technology and the ocean presence to do so. Another possibility that scientists reluctantly consider: these creatures might be aware of our technology now. The way they approach cameras suggests curiosity, not fear. Younger, less experienced individuals perhaps, testing boundaries, trying to understand what humans are and whether we're a threat. It's the behavior pattern seen in intelligent species when they encounter something new. Assessment, cautious investigation, and sometimes, as the fishing boat footage shows, displays of dominance or warning. The scientific community remains divided. Skeptics point to the lack of physical specimens beyond the few decomposed bodies that have surfaced. They argue that in an age of smartphones and underwater cameras, we should have mountains of evidence, not just scattered videos. The counter-argument is equally compelling. We have scattered videos of ball lightning, and that's a verified phenomenon. We have limited footage of giant squids despite knowing they exist. Rare events captured rarely doesn't mean they aren't real. Biologists who lean toward believing these sightings are genuine suggest we're looking at a species or group of species that has mastered concealment. Deep ocean dwellers that only venture to accessible depths occasionally. A population size that's stable but not massive. Behavior patterns that minimize human interaction. It's possible. The ocean is the perfect place to hide. Three-dimensional space, limited visibility, vast, unexplored territories. The morphology, if these creatures are real, represents one of the most significant evolutionary adaptations ever documented. A body plan that combines the best features of multiple successful aquatic designs. The streamlined efficiency of fish, the intelligence and sensory capabilities of marine mammals, possibly even the dexterity and problem-solving ability approaching primates. That combination would create an apex predator, or at least a highly successful omnivore capable of thriving in multiple ocean environments. Their social structure, based on the limited footage showing multiple individuals, appears complex. They move in groups, coordinate actions, display what might be communication through body language or sounds beyond human hearing range. Dolphins use ultrasonic clicks. Whales sing across hundreds of miles. If these beings communicate, their methods could be entirely outside our detection range unless we're specifically listening for it. Some footage captures sounds, high-pitched screams or calls that register on audio equipment. Analysis of these sounds shows patterns, variations in pitch and duration that could indicate meaning. Not random noise, but structured vocalization. That's a hallmark of intelligent communication. Whether it's language in the way humans understand language, or something more akin to dolphin communication, remains unclear. But it's not simple animal sounds. The predatory behavior shown in some videos raises concerns. Sharp teeth, aggressive approaches, pack hunting strategies. If these creatures exist, and they're carnivorous or omnivorous, humans in the water could be perceived as either threats or potential prey. Most shark attacks are cases of mistaken identity. A surfer looks like a seal from below. Could swimmers or divers look like familiar prey to these beings? Or worse, could they recognize humans as something separate and choose to investigate or even hunt us intentionally? There's no documented evidence of a fatal attack attributed to these creatures, but the ocean claims divers and swimmers regularly. Drownings, disappearances, unknown causes. When a body is never recovered or is found in a state of advanced decomposition, determining cause of death becomes nearly impossible. Could some of these unexplained incidents involve encounters with these beings? It's speculation, but it's the kind of speculation that keeps coastal researchers awake at night. The bioluminescence serves another possible function beyond predation and communication. Mating displays. Many deep-sea creatures use light patterns to attract mates. The violet-blue glow seen in several videos could be a sexual characteristic, males displaying for females, or females signaling availability. If that's accurate, the areas where this bioluminescent footage is captured might be breeding or mating grounds, which means there could be seasonal patterns to sightings. More encounters during specific times of the year when these creatures gather in certain locations. The footage from different global locations suggests a wide geographic range. Videos surface from Asian waters, the Pacific, possibly the Atlantic. Either these creatures are distributed globally or there are multiple populations spread across the world's oceans. Global distribution would require either a species that can travel vast distances or one that existed before continental drift significantly separated ocean basins. That would make them ancient. A lineage that survived millions of years, relatively unchanged, because their body plan is so successful. Every piece of footage, every encounter, Every shaky video that goes viral adds another piece to an incomplete puzzle. Marine biologists are watching, analyzing, searching for patterns. Some are starting to take this seriously, not as internet entertainment or hoaxes, but as potential evidence of a significant zoological discovery. A discovery that would rewrite textbooks and force us to reconsider what we think we know about ocean life. The truth is, we're not the ocean's dominant species. We're visitors. Tourists, equipped with technology that lets us survive briefly in an environment that isn't ours. The creatures that live there, whatever they are, have adaptations we can barely comprehend. They've mastered an environment that would kill us in minutes without equipment. And if some of those creatures look disturbingly human while being fundamentally something else, it forces an uncomfortable realization: we might not be alone in possessing intelligence on this planet. We might not even be the only bipedal species, if you count a powerful tail as a form of bipedal locomotion. The ocean could harbor life that parallels our own evolutionary path in eerie ways. Convergent evolution creating similar solutions to similar problems. Or something stranger, something that suggests intelligence and humanoid form might be more common in Earth's history than we've ever considered. The videos keep coming. More sightings. More footage. Each one analyzed, debated, dismissed, or defended, depending on who's looking. But the cumulative weight of evidence is becoming harder to ignore. Something is out there. Something that swims like a predator, thinks like a problem solver, and looks enough like us to trigger deep, primal unease. The ocean keeps its secrets, but cameras are everywhere now. Divers go deeper. Technology improves. And whatever has been hiding in the depths, avoiding human contact for millennia, is running out of places to hide. The question isn't whether we'll find definitive proof. The question is, what happens when we do? How do we share the ocean with something that might